Right then, welcome back. Still Breakfast Central on News Central. Today, the 29th of October 2019 is a Tuesday, and we're still sticking with our travel theme. But you can join the conversation, quite interestingly so, using the hashtag #NCBreakfastCentral. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and not forgetting Instagram, and log on to the website www.newscentral.africa. All right, where have you been lately on the continent? We know that visiting Africa is a big thing now in the tourism sector. But many who are coming to the continent as tourists have, well, maybe coming with misconceptions about the continent. Now, in a bid to help shift this single story narrative, we're challenging these negative stereotypes at News Central right here. And we've got our travel vlogger, and that's Zainab Fashola, founder of Zigos.com. And Zainab, welcome to the show. Good morning to you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, first of all, there's been lots of myth about traveling in Africa. Africa is underdeveloped, it's malnourished, you know, it's only good for safaris, and as a woman, it's not safe. But you as a travel vlogger, you've experienced some part of it. So how do we debunk all this, you know, what I call it, not myths again, this false narrative? I think that's a better way to put it.
I think it's a matter of showcasing what the truth is instead. And that's why I do try to showcase travel through videos and my stories where...
That's on Zigos.com, on your platform.
On Zigos.com, on YouTube, on Instagram, wherever I can just share my story, I try to. Because a few years ago, I'm like, you know what, let me even see my own continent. Because living in America, going through parts of Asia, I never really saw more of Africa. And so I just got a ride to Seme Border, got a taxi there, and just like just went around Benin Republic, Togo, Ghana.
And this was done on the road? On
the road, like, you know, was from taking from buses to
Did you have to show you some documentation?
Of course, my passports, you know, getting like passports, your, what's it called, the fever card thing, and the basic stuff. But then it was very simple, and and it was pretty affordable compared to flying somewhere else. And I find that they were very kind to me because it was just me and my
no
own.
hostilities.
No, they're so kind. Compared to I found them much more kind than we are in Lagos. They were so nice. And so I found the experience to be pretty amazing, and I actually want to go back and do a road trip through all of West Africa in a few months and actually just see more of it again.
That's amazing. So where did this myth about, you know, traveling in Africa being dangerous and underdeveloped, poverty-stricken, you know, where did it come from? Is it from the media? Is it from the Western media narrative? You know, sensationalism of some sorts about selling negative, projecting negative African images, you know, and maybe only when it's good is when you're safaring or you're in a jungle and you're seeing rhinos and, you know, you've got one or two white people, you know, sipping coffee in the horizon.
Yeah, with the giraffe in the background.
Yeah.
I find that bad news travel faster.
Okay.
Even like we have some good things happening in Africa that gets showcased, but then people dwell more on the bad news and not, you know, see that, okay, 5% of the story really is the bad, and then you have 95% of it being good. And it happens in America, so where we dwell a lot more on the bad, but then it's because they put out in the Hollywood movies and whatnot, they're always like putting it out there that, oh hey, I know A and B is happening, but then we're beautiful over here, and so we need to do more of that within our own movies locally, within our own popular media locally, to get those things out there. But then it's just more so bad news just travels faster.
Right, and you're a travel vlogger, you travel a lot, and you have plans to travel West Africa as a whole soon, and you're a woman.
Yes.
You know, so let's talk about the experiences, your experience of traveling alone as a woman across Africa, crossing through the borders. How was that like?
I thought it was actually kind. I find that in Africa, men are much nicer to women than they are to men. So, you know, now woman, let her go, you know. So I find that works across many parts in West Africa too, besides just Lagos. And that helped a lot, where some spots where I would have erred on my own end because I'm a woman, they were like, okay, you know what, and she's the woman. Like, it's not nice to me because I'm a human being still, but whatever. I find that they're very kind to me, they're very helpful. I know I got stuck in a spot in Togo at 2 in the morning, and they were very kind to me. I felt at no point unsafe. In every very sketchy situation, I was still very safe all throughout. And they were always very like, okay, let's get her to a hotel safely. Her bus broke down, make sure she's okay. And they're always, and as a non-speaking French person, non-French speaking person with my little bits here and there, they were like, okay, let's even try even harder to make her feel comfortable in our country. And that was amazing.
So language barrier also perhaps a factor. So that didn't really, play out?
I feel like, because for most Nigerian schools, we learn French. We learned the basic French, and I forgot most of them. But then, knowing a bit of the numbers and just saying, okay, 1 or 2, just, we speak with our hands, most times anyway. So they were able to understand my points with that.
All right. Let's talk about, eating the food, especially when it comes to traveling through African countries and, street food, roadside food, the experience. And where was it really for you on your experience on the travels?
It was Ghana.
Really?
Man, the food was amazing. I'm actually thinking about, when I get there, I'm going to branch these spots and go and get my first. It was... we have similar kind of...
was it spicy?
Spicy and...
just roadside?
Everywhere. I'm not fussy about food.
Okay.
And even for Benin Republic, I was amazing how they have really great fruits. And it's just everywhere. I went to this, up this mountain, Mount Ago in Togo. And it was just plantation everywhere. It's just passion fruits here and there. We made our own coffee for breakfast. Coffee, it was just... things I don't really see in Nigeria. It was just there in abundance.
Wow.
And it was pretty affordable. And it was even funny how we spend so much here on avocado. But then how when you're buying, what's it called? When you're buying suya, I get onions on the side.
On the side.
That was the avocado. And I was avocado rate. What we spend so much on is just almost nothing to them. And so they have great food culture. They farm really fresh food over there. And so I ate the healthiest while traveling through those parts.
Wow, it's just a good experience because we don't really get much about Africans talking about traveling through Africa and giving positive African stories. Especially when we talk about the myths about traveling through Africa and all the negative stereotypes about there. But let's go back to that. Which myths or beliefs that you had before you embarked on that journey that have now turned? That it's gone from negative to positive, that is completely debunked for you and hey, I used to believe this, but now I've gone through this and now certainly it's false. This is what I know now.
I was most afraid of my treatment in Benin Republic.
Okay.
I had the most time spent there actually because I thought, they'll be abrasive, they won't be kind, they'll say a Nigerian person, they just wouldn't want to even.
Okay, so negative stereotype of Nigerians.
Okay. And I saw a bit of that at the border, but then once I went past that border, I found them to be the nicest people I've met in my travels ever. And I've been to over 40 countries. And I was just
40 countries in Africa or globally?
Globally.
Okay.
Well, globally, I'm trying to do 15 in the next few months. Within Africa? Within Africa. Yeah. I'm trying to do, but then I was just this place, so I was even worried for them with how nice they were. I'm don't be mugu, please let me, I owe you this. And then they're always so kind. They went the extra mile to make sure I got to my hotel safely. I had some phone issues. They will help me call my host. And they were always taking from the Okada driver to the Danfo guy to the taxi guy. The people on the streets, they were always so kind. And I was just back at home, back here, I thought, okay, they won't send, Nigerians, Awala is plenty, they don't like us, and so hopefully they will not push me aside when I ask simple questions. But then say, from Nigeria, my sister. And they're always so open, whereas everywhere else I've been to in Africa, they weren't as kind as they were to me in Benin Republic. All
right, just before we go, one quick advice for a travel newbie or perhaps a West African travel newbie, perhaps like me, if I'm trying to just, take my passport, put it in my back pocket and just, go through the border, maybe to end up somewhere like maybe Ivory Coast after 5 days, what's going to be the one advice? Or a tip?
Save money because carry pillow because that ride is not a short one. It's not. They have better roads over there than we do in Lagos, but then it's a very long ride. The food there is a bit more expensive than our street food over here. So take ×3 what you budget for.
Whoa, to travel within from Okay, just within West Africa alone?
Yeah, it's not cheap. Like petrol costs really low over here, so cost of living there is a bit high compared to but then the street food is about 2K on average, whereas when you buy amala outside the Victoria Naira, you buy meat, everything, you're okay.
Okay.
But over there it's not the same thing.
So I have to just save. Okay.
Save for the food.
Save for the food.
Yeah, save for the food.
Okay.
But then be sharp. Same Lagos sense. Be sharp, be aware. Stay focused, but you get there safely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like I'll be backpacking anytime soon. Thank you very much, Zainab, from zigos.com. She's actually a travel blogger, one who's experienced traveling within West Africa quite well.